Hi everyone, welcome to Thrifty Thursday. This is an open collaboration hosted by Sheree at Turquoise Dreaming. I will link her channel below. Anyone is welcome to participate. You just make a video when you can and post it on or close to Thursdays and use the hashtag Thrifty Thursday, and we can all see what everyone has found while thrifting, yard selling, estate selling, or anywhere where you get a great deal on items for your home or for junk journaling. This past weekend, we were all a little stir crazy and just ready for some normalcy. So we got out and did a little bit of yard selling. It was one of those Saturdays where it seemed like every neighborhood or subdivision decided to have neighborhood-wide sales. And so we just kind of hopped in the car and went from one to the other. And I did find some amazing things. By far, my favorite sale was the first one we went to, closest to our house. But I did find a few other things nearby at other places. So let me start with a few home/ non-junk journal related items. I found this beautiful piece of framed art. It looks like a hammered copper frame, and as you can see, the glass is domed, and then I had never seen anything like this, surprisingly, that I can recall, but evidently it's called a reverse painting. So this little dog that looks like Asta from the Thin Man series, he is painted on the back of the glass, and then he's sort of bowing out from this image in the back of a little girl, and she's watering ducklings. Isn't that so cute? But she is just precious, and I had to grab this to put on the gallery wall in my bedroom. It's just so cute. So I was excited about that for sure, and transported it home very carefully. This is from the first yard sale that I loved the most. This one is also from that yard sale. If you guys are familiar with this fad from the 70s where you would buy wooden, I'm assuming this is wood, it could be plastic, pocketbook type things. They're hard, and then you could buy decoupage kits and decorate it yourself. And she said that her mother-in-law did this, and it is you know, I would totally use this as an actual purse for church or something like that. No, not grocery shopping or anything cumbersome, but I think I'm going to mainly store ephemera in it because I needed more fun, attractive things for ephemera storage. And so inside, it's got a little stain. It smells very strongly of perfume, but I can definitely air it out. And I love the yellow interior. So that was a steal at $2, I thought. And then at the same yard sale, I saw these. They're pretty old. I'm guessing late 40s, 50s, maybe a little sooner than that. It's just got that typical stamped picture studio on the back that you see a lot on these types of things. And these are also domed glass. And they look like camellias to me. But they're so lovely. And I will definitely be finding space for these. If I don't have room now, I will hold on to them for later. I like to switch my artwork out. Not by season or anything, but just by sort of as a way of rearranging a room and just giving it a facelift. But yeah, I don't even know how much she charged me for these. I had an arm full of stuff, and she and my husband basically both said $10 at the same time, and so we thought it was meant to be. So I got all of this for $10, including the linens I will show you next. At her yard sale as well, I got my first set of Kissing Santas, Santa and Mrs. Claus, and they're so cute. These are actually Lefton, So I was extremely surprised to be able to find these. I think they were 50 cents. I don't have any Kissing Santa and Mrs. Claus, but they're just so cute, and I will be excited to display these with my Christmas decor. Okay, is that all from this sale except for the linens? I think it is. While I have these other items on my countertop, I'll show you those as well. This is actually just thrown in for free at one of the sales that I went to. It's really funny because I was actually going to stop by Hobby Lobby later in the day and look for silk poppies. But this lady was like, oh, I just had these on the table for free, whoever showed interest in them. So I grabbed these, and I would love to be able to put this on the front of a journal. I don't know how. If you guys have any tips on how to attach a 3D floral embellishment to a journal and make sure that it stays, please let me know. I have a journal in the works that I'm making for someone, and I would love to be able to put a poppy maybe in the bottom corner. So give me all your ideas. I thought about also deconstructing this and using just some of the petals scattered throughout the pages. That's an idea also. But yeah, let me know if you have done or if you have made yourself a journal with a 3D flower on the front. I'd love to know how. And then one of the yard sales said estate sale, and I think that was just because they were doing a massive downsize. But she had a few antique books, so I picked this one up. I probably paid, again, it was a bundle, so I'm guessing I paid $1.50 for this, maybe $2. But this was a book that was published by the Christian Herald Bible House in 1908. And so Nathaniel Hawthorne has a story in here. Charles Dickens, the story of Ruth. I was thinking Pilgrim's Progress would be in here, but it's not. But I thought it would be, the pages are just beautiful. They're almost slightly textured. I don't know if you can see it, probably not. But they're not super smooth, but they're not rough like, you know, a lot of the old books are either. They're just such a nice patina to them. And then the cover itself. I'm curious. I feel like it might be my imagination, but I feel like most of the books published, antique books, the most popular color that they used in these fabric covered books a long time ago was dark red. I only say that because I organized, just for fun one day, I organized my collectible bookshelf by color, and by far red overshined over all of the other colors. And I just wondered if anyone else has noticed that. And I wonder if there's a reason for that. But anyway, that was just a random notice that I had. This, I did not know what they were. I could just see the little bumps on the top, but these are actually National Underwriter Company file cards. They're not very old. I think it says 2007. I would love to have the ones in 67, but these are newer. And there's a bunch of white ones and a bunch of yellow ones. And then of course back here we have some unopened, not very old, but still, we all love our little filing dividers. And then here's some color-coded ones. These are actually quite neat. They're very sturdy, and they just feel different than a lot of the ones that you buy now. So this box was $1.50 for all of it, and I consider that a deal because these boxes right here are not cheap. So I will be using some of these, and I might be sharing some of these in bundles or ephemera packs, or even in small handfuls in my shop, just because I think they're a very unique thing to tuck into a journal. The same yard sale that had the poppies had this trim. This is not vintage, but for 25 cents each, I got some navy pom-pom trim. From what I gathered, the lady did a lot of pillow making, so she had a lot of pillows, and this is probably left over from that. And this is black. I don't use black very often, but for 25 cents, I figured I needed to have some in my stash. And it would be, if I ever decided to do a pink and black theme journal or a Paris theme journal, I thought this would be pretty. It's just very elegant. The same yard sale with the antique pictures had a box that said free, and they had a bunch of this engineering graph paper. So I grabbed a couple of these, a little bit darker on the back, and yeah, for free, absolutely. And they're very, very rare, barely used. So, and now for the linens. This will probably take the longest. I have probably 12 to 15 pieces here. When I walked up on this, I literally sort of looked sideways at my husband and gaped my mouth open as if I was saying, oh my gosh, I've been looking for this sheet pattern for months, and look at it, I found it. And not only is it the sheet pattern I've been looking for, these are pillowcases. They have, it looks to be hand crocheted ombre trim and some stitching here. So now we come to the moment where I have to decide, am I going to use these on my bed, or am I going to use these on journals? If they had had 4 of them, it would have been an easy decision, but there was only 2. But they're just impeccable in their condition. So I don't know what pattern this is called. I know with Google image search, Pequot. With Google image search, sometimes you can just take a picture of a fabric or a sheet, and it will give you matches, and a lot of times you can very quickly find out the name of the pattern of a sheet set. I don't know if you've ever tried that before. It's fairly accurate, not always, but I have been able to find the name of some of the patterns that I've been looking for that way, just so I can refer to it later if I wanted more pieces. This came from, I asked the lady, she was standing next to me when I was going through these, and a lot of the linens that she had, she said came from St. Thomas when they were traveling. But I asked her about this one, and she said, well, this came from my grandmother's house. So this lady was probably in her 60s. So this piece is probably quite old. And it is just standard cross stitch, but it is so lovely. We've got the Greek key here, and then some flowers and an urn. I just loved it. Stained, but that is okay. Beautiful piece. And I will help her grandmother's embroidery live on. And then here is another pillowcase, I think. Nope. This is a, let's see, this is a very small square tablecloth, probably for one of those little round bedside tables. And this has that beautiful pastel crocheted trim. I cannot even fathom the amount of patience it takes to sew that. Attach that. Can you see those little threads? And then we've got some beautiful, I see this type of flower a lot in embroidery. Daisies with a little French knot in the middle, but absolutely beautiful. Would have been so cute in a little girl's room. But there's one of these designs in each of the 4 corners. So hopefully, I've started to collect a good bit of linens like this, and I have extreme anxiety when it comes to time to cut it up and how to use it so that it is, I can preserve as much as possible. And I know a lot of that means probably I need to make bigger journals. Diane Shaw on Shawcraft One does a really good job of doing very large, very filled with fabric journals. She calls them billowing journals, and I've been watching her for some tips and inspiration, but still, when it comes down to time to do this, I chicken out. And so I have a lot to learn in this area. I have a really hard time putting scissors to fabric until I have a definite plan. So if there's anyone else other than Diane that I should be watching on how to make the most of these beautiful linens, would you share their channels with me? I would love to know how to use these to the maximum potential. Now this one is one of the ones from St. Thomas, and it's got a lot of white space. So for this one, I know what I would do. I would just cut around this or create a pocket or a side or corner pocket or something like that. It's not as much of a challenge for me to know what to do with this. However, I'm open to new ideas on how to use things like this. So again, if you have any other ideas or channels that you have learned techniques from for using embroidery, please let me know. Slow stitching is another option for things like this. But this one is just, I don't remember, yes, it has a very large image in the middle. This is a round tablecloth. And so in the middle, we have the same roses, which I thought they were interesting, that taupe color. But then we have this beautiful blue circle. It's not really catching it. Let me zoom out just a little bit. Isn't that so lovely? And she said they were from St. Thomas, but I don't know if they're hand done or machine done. But still, too beautiful to pass up for sure. And these were $2 a piece. These large ones were $2 a piece. And the pillowcases and the small ones were 50 cents. Here's another one from St. Thomas. Now we have this type of embroidery here. It's almost like an applique. And then there's some, let me zoom back down again. There's some of this type of almost like tatted lace embedded in here. This is gorgeous, this medallion, but I love this as well. I'm not going to unfold the whole thing, but you get the picture. I don't have any round tables, otherwise I would just hold on to some of these and use them. I just have a square and a rectangle table for entertaining, so, but my goodness, these are lovely, aren't they? I guess you could do a square tablecloth and then a round on top. That would probably look good, but again, these large ones were $2, so. Here is a pillowcase, and I don't know if this was handmade or not. I'm assuming it is. It's a pretty large image of some sort of, I don't know that it's a rose. And then we have some crochet trim. I don't know if this is handmade or bought. It looks maybe bought, but I could be wrong about that. This could be directly crocheted onto the trim. I'm learning more about linens as I go. So, but this is a satin stitch. I love that. And yeah, just gorgeous. The reds and the pinks. It reminds me of something my grandma would have loved. And then I got the second matching pillowcase to that. This is one of those that after I found the other pillowcases, I was kind of like, why not? You know, just 50 cents more, why not just grab it as well? These were not embellished in any way, but they're just very happy, very spring, somewhat spotted, but not terrible. Springy looking pillowcases. I'm guessing from the 70s. Let's see if we can find a tag. It is not legible anymore. But yeah. And these all smell very fresh. They smell honestly what linens smell like in my linen closet or my mom's. They're not super musty or anything like that. So that is a plus. Big bonus there. Those look like little pea pods, don't they? So cute. And then here's two more of those embellished pillowcases. These are spectacular. There's a pink trim here. This lady's mother or mother-in-law must have crocheted, because there was so much of that at this yard sale. No tag on these. They must have cut them out. But again, this is just a lovely spring happy print. And then the last item, these are actually for my daughter, but I grabbed them for journaling, and then I was like, you know what? These would fit your bed. So she loves vintage sheets on her bed, as long as the elastic is still pretty decent. And this is just another set of vintage double-sized. It's like the floral that looks like it's cross-stitched, but it's not. Where is the tag? I saw it at the yard sale because I looked specifically for the size. Here it is. Spring Made Marvelaire, and it does not tell the pattern. I wish they had put the pattern on them. Fabric design. Spring Mills. So I'll have to look up the patterns for all of these sheets, actually, just because I like to know. But I believe, nope, one more thing, two more things. At the estate sale, this lady, oh my goodness, she must have loved to entertain. She had probably 20 unopened and opened packs of doilies. And so I tried to be very conservative with what I took, but I tried to grab ones that were not like the ones I have already. These are 10-inch, and they are almost like a lace pattern. And then I thought the little triangle cutouts were interesting. I'd not seen that before. And then these are the rose ones, which I don't have. And these were just tucked in there. I think there's only a couple of these. So it has the roses on the solid part as well. Those are 8-inch. And then these are 4 inches. And I don't think I have any of the size in white. I have some small gold ones. That one looks barely used. I do not have any rectangles, so I was excited to find these. Now, a lot of these, when I walked up on them, because it was so cold and then the sun had just come out, they had sort of dew settled on them, so some of the top layer was a little wet, and I think that's what's happened to this guy. But no big deal. I had never seen ovals before, so I was quick to grab that. And then these are probably the oldest ones in the batch. These are full-size placemats, and they have a Kmart tag from a long time ago. They are so intricate and lovely. So I was excited about those. And then also at that same estate sale for $1, this is a heavy-duty pizza pan, not the little aluminum. It's coated in some sort of nonstick coating, and I have been wanting to try the Kool-Aid dyed paper with the holy pans. So I bought this. I figured for $1, if it didn't work, I could just use it to make pizza. But yeah, excited about that as well. My husband thought I was buying that for our house, and when I got in the car and told him it was for dyeing paper, he started laughing. But that was my yard sale extravaganza. I call it Linen Saturday because that's what I was most excited about. And I hope that you enjoyed looking through these beautiful springy designs and patterns. And let me know what your favorite item was. And head over to Sheree's channel for more Thrifty Thursday participants and video links. And I will talk to you again very soon. Bye-bye.